Mortgage rates are up, home prices are down, the market is tanking again. Those are the headlines we're seeing in a lot of places. But is that really the truth about what is going on? I'm Joe Schwartzbauer, your favorite Twin Cities realtor, team leader at the Great Oak Properties team. We are here to help serve you for any of your relocation purposes to the Twin Cities or just in and around the Twin Cities. But we are here to give you the data on what is really going on in the Twin Cities market, so let's dive into it right away. As usual, we look at the 13 county metro single-family homes previously owned and traditional sales. Now, we did drop from last month. We seem to have possibly peaked out in June of 2023 at 411,000, and we just dropped to 400,000 for the median sale price of a single family home. Now, we do tend to see some years that peak does not come in June or July. Sometimes that peak comes in August, or we see a slight dip in July and then things come back up in August, which we saw 2020, 2019 actually saw relatively the same type of thing. So we may have seen the peak, we may have hit the peak, but that's to be seen. We'll see what happens next month. So what are a few of the other indicators as far as what is going on? Month supply, we did drop to 1.4 months. We need more inventory in today's housing market. We are at some of the lowest inventory of homes for sale in history of Julys that we have ever seen. And there are more buyers, more people on this earth than we have ever seen. So this is a problem. We need more homes to come on the market. And it is one of the main reasons why we are not seeing home prices crash and drop. Let's take a look at homes for sale. Let's take a look at this on a rolling 12 month, and let's just go to the absolute max so you can see just what is going on. 3,307 homes for sale in July. If you go back and look at 2006, 2007, 2005 even, the lowest inventory we had in 2005, 12,399 homes available for sale. How does that compare to 3,307? This was an abundance of supply. This is a crisis, a housing supply crisis that we are in. Now, there's a lot of reasons why we have such low inventory. And one of those big reasons is simply due to interest rates. Interest rates are higher than they have been in a very, very long time and have been that way for the past year now, the past 12 months essentially. So when rates started to go up, there was a lot of folks that over the previous year to 2 years had locked into a much lower mortgage rate. I believe Redfin and Zillow, possibly it was, just came out with some data that said, I believe it's 90% of all mortgages are 4% or less, which is wild. That is very, very low interest rates. If you are one of the folks that locked in a mortgage rate below 3%, drop a comment below. I'd love to know where your mortgage rate's at. One of the properties that we own, it's our previous property that we lived in St. Paul. We actually locked into a 2.5% interest rate on that one. I'm never going to sell it. There's no reason to. That interest rate alone is worth gold. And that's the problem that we're seeing, is so many folks are locked into these low mortgage rates that mortgage rate is worth a lot of money to somebody in the long run. It doesn't make sense for them to sell that and buy a new home at a 6-7% interest rate. So we call it rate lock, is one of the big reasons why we're seeing inventory remain low. Now, there are a lot of predictions that say mortgage rates are going to be coming down. Morningstar just came out and said that the average interest rate in 2024, they are expecting to be 5%. That means that mortgage rates will have to drop into the 4%. At some point, if 5% is going to be the average, we're going to need to be down in the 4% at some time in 2024. Personally, I think that's a little bit low, but every other analysis out there is predicting the mortgage rates are going to be coming down. They are saying by the end of 2023, we could be in the low 6s, possibly the high 5s. MBA is also predicting mortgage rates are coming down. Now, what is going to take place when mortgage rates come down? We are going to see a flood of buyers come back to the market. There are so many people that have been sitting on the sidelines not wanting to make a move simply because mortgage rates have been so high. Now, as rates come down, they're going to come back into the market, and what do we expect to see happen? Personally, and a lot of other folks believe, we're going to see something similar to 2021 where we see massive home price appreciation simply due to the fact of a lot of buyer demand and still low inventory. Low inventory simply because we can't build enough new construction homes. That's a whole nother topic that I could get into, but we are between 4 and 6 million homes behind on supply of inventory. There are so many different reasons why this housing market is more than likely not going to crash anytime in the future. Possibly not ever again. We would need economic disaster and turmoil going through what we went through for the past 12, 16 months here, and the housing market was barely affected by it, leads me to believe that housing is still one of the strongest investments and best investments that you can make. I am heavily invested in real estate. I think it is a smart move for anybody. It is rare that you are going to lose on real estate. You typically are buying below the next peak of the market. So enough hearing about me. Let's look at a little bit more data and see just what's going on. So we looked at number of homes for sale. Let's go back to monthly and shorten this down to 5 years. Days on market, we are at 10 days on market. Good Lord, that is low as well. We saw those numbers in 2022 down to 5, 6, but traditionally it's much higher. Even 2019, kind of the low that we got down to was 15. The housing market is strong. Homes are selling very quickly. There is no refuting the evidence that homes are selling very quickly. 10 days on market. The median home is selling in 10 days. That is wildly quick. That means buyers need to make quick decisions. It's a tough time to be a buyer. You have to be working with somebody that is very, very knowledgeable and very, very skilled in this real estate market in order to win today. Now, don't get me wrong. There are homes that are sitting on the market for much longer than 10 days. But the homes that are the most desirable, the ones that the vast majority of people want, they're selling very, very quickly. If you are considering selling your home, make sure to reach out very early on. Proper preparation leads to phenomenal pricing on your home and leads to these 9-10 days on the market with multiple offers and hopefully you selling for above list price. Prepping your home for sale has never been more important. I highly recommend working with the Great Duck Properties team or your favorite real estate agent, but I'm biased, so reach out to us. We're happy to help. Some of the other things we want to take a look at: percentage of last list price. We did drop a little bit, but we are still over 100% for single family homes anyway. Sale prices. We looked at single family homes. Let's take a look at townhomes as well. Townhomes steadily increasing. They've done really well. The townhome market in the Twin Cities has done really well. We went from $299 to $301, a slight increase. Condos, these are tough to look at. They kind of go all over the board, as you can see here, because there's just a lot of different styles of condos. You get a couple multi-million-dollar units that sell, and that can really change the numbers. So let's take a look at some predictions as far as things that are going to be taking place in the future. Zillow is so sure that U.S. home prices have bottomed that it just issued bullish calls for these 48 housing markets. We can go into those, but Minneapolis is one of those that we expect to have a bullish future. AEI makes a bold housing market call that U.S. home prices will jump 6% in 2023 and another 7% in 2024. I am trying very difficult not to be that salesman here. I am just trying to give you the data of what is going on. Now seems to be a really big sweet spot in the market. Right now, you can buy a home that you don't have to substantially overpay for. And like I say, you are traditionally buying below the next peak. Buying a home now when there's not as many buyers out there can allow you to lock in the price of the home. If mortgage rates come down in the future, you have the opportunity to refinance. If mortgage rates stay the same, great. You bought a home with a monthly payment that you were comfortable with and a home that you love. If mortgage rates in the future go up, fine. You locked in a rate that makes sense for you. There seems to be a sweet spot in the market. I will say between now and January or February of 2024 is probably going to be one of the best times to buy a home in the next 5 years. Someone tell me I'm just looking for a sale. That's fine. I don't really care. These are what the predictions say. These are what the numbers are saying. So I can't refute what these numbers are saying. CoreLogic is also saying that we are going to see a forecast year over year of at least 4.3%, month over month, another 0.6%. Currently, we're up 1.6%. This is nationally, and month over month, up another 0.5%. So if you're looking to buy a home, I do feel now is a good time. But the best time to buy a home is when it makes sense for you. When you walk into that home and you fall in love and you love the current payment on it. Don't go to the top of your budget. We don't 100% know what's going to happen in the economy and in the future. There's a lot of analysis out there that says what's going to happen, but nobody knows 100% for sure. Buy a home when you fall in love with it, with a payment that makes sense for you, and when timing is right for you. Thanks so much for sticking around. We'll see you guys next time.